Hello and welcome to Vetter Guns and Gear channel. You see the star of the show there sitting front and center. It is the Anderson Manufacturing. It's a lower parts kit for AR build. It's a great entry level or budget build kit for someone that's just getting started. I actually paid 10 bucks more and got the enhanced kit. And I'll kind of go over what enhance mean as we get into this review. So let's get into it. Just a couple things I'd like to cover while I'm opening the box. This kit, it'll run you about 50 bucks, plus or minus $10, depending on where you purchase it, or if you catch it on sale, some type of holiday sale. But as you can see, the box is open. You get a multiple different color coded bags come in a kit. Just gonna take the bags out and we will go through the contents of the bags one by one. And you even get in this complete lower parts kit, you get a A2 style pistol grip, which I never use. I always opt out and go with a Magpul or a BCM. There are just tons of better grips out there. But this does come with the kit, so I'm just going to put that back in there. I won't be using that. And stay tuned to the channel because I will be completing a build. I'm just waiting on a few other parts to come in. What we have here is your trigger group assembly. That right there is your trigger. This is your hammer. And I'll give you guys a close-up. This is your disconnector. This is your disconnector spring. And your two trigger and hammer install pins. These guys here. That's one of them. That's the second one. Alrighty, moving right along. We have the two pins here. Here's a close-up of your disconnector. It's just a matte black metal part. And I was in this bag earlier. I just got this kit in, so I like to always go through and just inspect everything. Look at the edges, make sure the edges are nice and smooth. On occasion, with some of the more budget-friendly lower parts kit, sometimes the surfaces they'll tend to be rough, or you'll see a lot of casting marks. This right here is your hammer. These springs, they do not come pre-installed on here, but I just put them on here. I put them on today. They just pop right on and off. Just like that. But I figured before I start to install and start to put these in my lower, I give you guys a glance of what everything looks like and what actually comes in the Anderson lower parts kit. You want to look at these edges here, these surfaces. These are surfaces that will be contacting the firing pin. So you just want to give it a complete once over. Just look at everything, make sure everything looks good, make sure the machining looks good, there are no rough edges. And again, this is the enhanced. This has been polished. Everything has been polished on here. This is the enhanced lower parts kit by Anderson. And this retails for about 50 bucks. And as I mentioned, as the video first started, sometimes you could find it for $10 more, $10 less, depending on if you could find a special. And this here is your hammer. And again, this spring here, it does not come pre-installed. I put this spring on there as well. This is the proper mounting position for the spring. And I already inspected this earlier, but the key parts of this component here that you want to inspect is this face here make sure it's smooth. You could see casting marks, but this trigger assembly, it's been polished up pretty good, and all in all, the fit and finish looks pretty good. So moving right along, we're gonna put these back in the bag and move on to the next bag. Bear with me. Let me drop these in the bag. If you never built a AR, I would advise everybody to try it at least once. And I think once you try it once, it'll become addicting. It's habit forming. But the reason why I say you should try it is because you really get to learn the parts of a great rifle. Moving right along, in the black package, here's the contents. And you guys got to be careful when you're laying these parts out, because there are a lot of little plungers and small springs. This right here, this is your mounting bolt for if I was going to use that A2 pistol grip, which I'm not, but this is the mounting bolt for that grip. And stay tuned to the channel, because instead of using that A2 pistol grip, I will be using a Magpul K2 pistol grip. I really recommend, if you have a pistol, to really look into the Magpul K2 grips. So moving right along, this is the bolt for that A2 pistol grip that I won't be using. This is another part that I will not be using. This is a trigger guard, and I will be using a Magpul enhanced trigger guard. What you have here, this is your magazine release. This does come pre-assembled like this. This spins right off. And unlike some magazine releases with the Anderson, with these newer Anderson kits, you will know which end of the magazine release button faces up, because on this one here, you have your serrations right here, and on the back end, it is just completely smooth. This here is your magazine. The spring here, it goes right in between here, just like that. Well, with the button off, this will be in between here, and it'll feed right through your AR. So your magazine ejection spring right here. And the star washer here, this is for the A2. You just run a bolt right through the star washer and then tighten it up to your lower receiver. But Magpul, they actually supply you with a lock washer as well. So there's a couple parts in this kit that I will not be using. I just like to throw them in a spare box that I have full of parts from these lower kits that I don't use. All right, next we have the red packaging here. Take a look at the contents. And this here is the one with all the plungers. And you have to be careful with these. These are your takedown pins here. Let you take a look at that. You know, the plunger's right down in that channel. As you can see, there's a little channel there. There's your other takedown pivot pin. Again, you have a channel right there. So these are what these little plungers will ride in to keep them from coming out. There's a look at one of your little detent plungers there. There are two of them, identical. Here's a look at another one of the detents. You have 3 springs here. One is for your buffer tube. Then you have 2 additional springs for your takedown. You have 1 spring each for each takedown. And then you have your buffer tube spring here. So you have a total of 3 springs, and as you can see, 2 of them are the same size. And you have 1 shorter spring. And within this group here, you also have your safety. Again, when I go through and I inspect these parts, I like to look for the casting marks on here. And this being an enhanced kit, everything looks great. I already inspected it earlier, but I just want to show you guys, you ladies and gents, what everything looks like. If you had the there's an indicator mark on here, or a little hash there, so you could kind of see. With a lot of the more expensive lower receivers, you get fire, safe, you get your mode selector on both sides. And unless you were running a ambi selector switch, which this is not, normally there's no indicator on the side, but this one here actually have a mark that lines up with the arrow here, letting you know what position this selector lever is in on both sides, provided you have a lower receiver that indicates safe and fire on both sides. You should know this by heart, but anyways, they just kind of foolproof it. All right, just gonna get these contents bagged up, and we're gonna move right on to the last bag. This video is running slightly longer than I wanted it to. Want it to be in and out of this video in about 10 minutes, but I'm kind of running over, but I'm trying to just give out as much useful information as I can. In the final bag, yeah, the red pill or the blue pill, the matrix. Which one do you want? Just kidding. All right, this here's the final bag. I totally let you guys, as far as the springs were concerned. I am completely sorry. I apologize for that. This is the spring and plunger for the buffer tube. So forgive me for misleading you guys on that the springs in that previous bag. So in that red bag there, this is your spring for the buffer tube assembly to keep it and detent to keep everything retained. Let's see, you have 2 takedown pins, and then you have a third spring, and you have a third spring. This is your bolt catch release. Here's your plunger for the bolt catch release. This is the spring for the bolt catch release assembly. The plunger that I just showed you sits right in the spring. And this is your retaining pin for that bolt catch release that you run through your lower receiver. Well, that is it for this Anderson lower parts kit. These are typically all of the parts that you would get with any lower parts kit assembly. So I just wanted to share with you if you were interested in knowing what all comes in the lower parts kit. Just want to show you in the Anderson lower parts kit, that is. And typically most other complete lower parts kit, that's what you get. Those are the contents. So with this enhanced kit, the fit and finish, it's great. Anderson take the extra time to go through and actually machine everything and smooth everything out. So normally you could just pretty much drop it in. It's plug and play. And I know I already mentioned it, but sometimes people don't watch the whole video, so I try to put the price in most times in the start, the middle, and the end of the video. The price of this parts kit was about $50. I picked it up at Primary Arms, but there are a ton of vendors out there that sell these lower parts kits. Brownells have lower parts kits, so you could pick these up pretty much anywhere. Pros are, it's reasonably priced. It's great for a budget bill, and if you get the enhanced kit, you could pretty much rest assured that Anderson has went through everything and checked everything out. Other than that, the cons, I'd say, sometime if you don't get the enhanced lower parts kit from Anderson, you really want to look out and keep an eye out for for marks, the casting marks, because sometimes they're really pronounced, and you end up having rough surfaces, and it's really going to affect your trigger pull and everything out at the range. So that is something to be mindful of. Just to sum this up, I would consider this a buy. I'd give it 2 thumbs up. And that is my tabletop review of the Anderson Manufacturing Lower Parts Kit. If you found this video useful, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And please also consider liking and subscribing to the channel, because it really helps the channel out. Vetter Guns and Gear, reminding you guys to thank your local law enforcement or military personnel, because freedom is not free. Vetter Guns and Gear, wishing you guys a great day. God bless the USA. Vetter Guns and Gear, out here.